Hello, everybody, and a pleasant good afternoon, evening, or wherever you may be listening to this. I'm Ben Charles, and welcome to another review of AEW Dynamite. If you're wondering why I will not talk about Raw, because I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I might as well. Me and Josh are going to do a review of Raw is 30, and look out for that one wherever you get your podcasts at. So look out for the Raw is 30 review with me and Josh on that specific review. I will not talk about Raw for this specific review because, simply put, Raw was a way bigger show, and there's no point in me talking about it here. That way, it's better if Josh is on that review. Anyway, I'm doing strictly Dynamite, no other BS, no Rampage, no SmackDown, nothing. All right, AEW Dynamite from the Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. First thing we saw right away was Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, who is Get Off My Fucking TV. There's only 2 of those tonight, by the way. Actually, 3 of those, including one segment, which I thought was actually a decent segment on this show. Unfortunately, I still don't care about that fucking feud. We'll get to that. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia, who is not Get Off TV. And I'll be honest with y'all, I feel like Daniel Garcia is being held back by Jericho, because think about it. Daniel Garcia does not wrestle a lot of matches, and he's barely on television. Plus, he has no character. Like, his character was supposed to be this wrestling machine kind of character, right? So, why is Daniel Garcia not wrestling matches? Listen, he already lost to Action Andretti because of BS on Rampage, which I did not review, by the way. And that was last Friday, I might add. So, here's what I would do. Daniel Garcia needs to be babyfaced by Revolution. That's all. This heel shit is not working for Daniel Garcia. This is not working. I'm sorry. Also, I'd like to thank Cool Hand. Excuse me. No, he's not cool. He's not fucking warm. He's not warm. He's not cool. Pardon me. Hot Hand of Garbage, Angelo Parker. Jake Hager with his dumbass purple hat. And Matt Menard, which I refuse to say your nickname, for not being on my TV on this show. And I want to make a deal with every last one of you. It only agrees if all of you participate in this deal. Deal? Alright. Here's the deal. If Matt Menard and Angelo Parker become tag team champions. That's not happening. Y'all know that's not happening. But here's the deal. If they ever become tag team champions, I will say Matt Menard's nickname. I will say it live, right here, on the airwaves. I will say it in his whole, full nickname, in its entirety. That's the deal. If they ever become tag team champions in AEW or in any other promotion that is not AEW, I will be forced to say their names. Say their nicknames. There you go. Deal? Alright. Action Andretti and Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Both teams comes out. The match starts. Excalibur points out that Jericho has lost back-to-back matches in All Elite Wrestling, which is not a big deal at all, because Jon Moxley has lost back-to-back before. Action Andretti and Sammy Guevara start. Typical chain wrestling. Guevara has a roller for a 2 count. Sammy wants a handshake, but he then levels Action Andretti with a super kick. By the way, for the record, before I say anything else about this match, Action Andretti is getting more TV time than Miro, Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Adam Cole, and all of the guys I just mentioned combined in the last 3 weeks. Something is a problem when Action Andretti has more fucking TV time than the House of Black. Something is wrong. Tony Khan, I don't know what you're doing, but you smoking some backstage, and I don't like it. Guevara gets some heat on the outside. He teases a tope. Action Andretti hits one on Garcia. Guevara hits a moonsault on Andretti. Guevara tries for a Hurricane Rana, but Andretti lands on his feet. Ricky Starks tags in. He takes out everybody. Starks goes for his stupid rope. Okay, I gotta talk about this spot. Ricky Starks' walk on the ropes. He was strutting and everything. That was the dumbest spot all night. What was that? What was that? Thank God Sammy Guevara came in with a cutter, which, by the way, is not a disqualification. Aubrey Edwards just let it happen, and the match wasn't a DQ. Sammy goes out. Sammy hit the cutter for a 2 count. Jericho plays mind games with Ricky Starks. In and out tags by both goons, Jericho and Guevara. Actually, Jericho's not a goon. Guevara is the biggest goon of them all. I wrote in my notes, they posed, and I wrote in my notes, I hate these men, but they are awesome. In a way. So anyway, that's what I said. Daniel Garcia, by the way, said it was beautiful. No, the fuck it was not, Daniel Garcia. I don't know what you're smoking. What are you doing? I don't know if you're smoking that, bro, but come on, bro. That was not beautiful. What was that? Andretti comes in off the tag. He takes out both with a backbreaker, neckbreaker combo. And then he hits double suicide dives to both men. Starks takes out Guevara with the DDT behind the referee's back, Aubrey Edwards, who did not see it not one time. Andretti then hit a triple jump moonsault. And then it led to a 2 count. Jericho and Starks tag back in again. Starks hits a spear. Then he goes to the outside, takes out Jericho with a Rochambeau after he tagged in Andretti again. Andretti hit a torture rack neckbreaker for a 2 count. Daniel Garcia hits Andretti with the bat after a couple of minutes. Behind the referee's back again. Referee did not see it. Aubrey Edwards looked ridiculous in this spot because she clearly could have turned around. She didn't. Sammy hits the GTH. I wish Ty Mello could. Well, never mind. I'll save my judgment for her. Just get her off television right away, please. Get her out of here. And Sammy wins and beats Action Andretti for his first loss in AEW, to which he was going to fucking lose anyway because Ricky Starks wasn't losing, Chris Jericho wasn't losing, and Sammy Guevara could not lose, so Action Andretti had to take the loss. I'll give this match a 5 and Logic a 5. This match was fine. I didn't care about this match though, but it was fine. Alright, they run down the card for Brian Cage versus Bryan Danielson, Toni Storm versus Ruby Soho. Britt Baker was actually supposed to be in this match, but she actually had an injury, which wasn't serious, I understand. But she decided to stay off TV for a week. Thank you. But, well, actually, she was on TV, but in one of the worst ways possible. And Mark Briscoe making his AEW debut in the wake of losing his brother last week against Jay Lethal, to which there will be zero disrespect for Jay Lethal on this specific show. No disrespect to Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, or even the referee, which was Paul Turner in this match, in the main event. No disrespect toward them at all. The only reason I would even loathe Jay Lethal. I've always said I've liked Jay Lethal. But the fact that he's getting booked like he's nobody, like that pisses me off. I don't get it. AEW does a beautiful Jay Briscoe video package, which was fucking magnificent. Oh my god, I cried at this. This was so good. It reminded me of the Brody Lee video package in a way. I got a lot of emotional, this has taken me a couple of days to calm down and relax. And Jay Briscoe, as I said, rest in peace, and he will be missed big time by every wrestling fan that that has ever watched your career. All right, Buddy Matthews versus. Okay, hold on, stop. Hold on. Before we do this match, it's time for another installment of What the Fuck Did He Do to Get a Title Shot? Hear my music! Hello everybody, I'm your host Ben Charles, and it's time for another edition of What the Fuck Did He Do to Get a Title Shot? The question of the week is, what did Buddy Matthews do to get a TNT Championship match? Here are your 3 answer choices. A. Buddy Matthews attacked Darby Allin last week on Rampage. B. Darby Allin called out the House of Black last week for no reason and Tony Khan made this match. Or C. Darby beat up Malachi Black on Rampage. You all have 10 seconds to figure this out. fuck Jake Hager. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the answer of the week. It is, what does Buddy Matthews do to get a TNT Championship match? A. Buddy Matthews attacked Darby last week on Rampage. B. Darby Allin called out the House of Black for no reason last week on Dynamite. Or C. Darby beat up Malachi Black on Rampage. If you guess B, Darby Allin called out the House of Black for no goddamn reason and Tony Khan made this match, you are correct. Thank you for joining us on another edition of What Did He Do to Get a Title Shot? Back to your regularly scheduled program. Yes, Buddy Matthews versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. This match was fine. I feel like this match should have been a little bit longer. I felt like this match was short. People say this match went 12 minutes. I'm like, what? 12 minutes? This doesn't look like... Nah, wait a minute. This ain't 12 minutes. I didn't think this was a 12-minute match. I thought this was like a 10-minute, like a 9-minute match here. I thought this was like something like that. I don't even know. Anyway, Buddy Matthews beat up Darby Allin for a bit. Darby hits a coffin splash to Matthews on the outside. Lights go out after a couple of minutes. Malachi Black and Brody King show up, but Ortiz hits Brody with a Singapore cane from behind. Sting helps out. Malachi and Ortiz brawl up the ramp. No one cared. The crowd died 1,000 deaths in Lexington, Kentucky. No reaction for this at all. I'm sorry. Buddy Matthews hit a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count, and Darby puts Matthews in sleeper hold as we go to picture-in-picture. Darby then hits a poison Rana out of picture-in-picture, and Excalibur points out that Darby Allin will be in Japan to, he will help out Sting against the Great Muta in the Great Muta's retirement tour in Japan. Darby has a crucifix for a 2 count. Bryce Remsburg is the referee, which I do have to do the honors for him. Bryce Remsburg, gone! Buddy hits a nice combo of moves. They exchange moves, and Buddy hits a buckle bomb and a curb stomp. Okay, first of all, why did Buddy Matthews hit a buckle bomb and then a curb stomp? I wonder where he got that from. Wasn't he a, what was he, a disciple, right? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Matthews goes for Matthews Law, which is not actually what it's called. I called it that. He goes for Matthews Law, but Darby hits Code Red for a 2 count. Darby goes for the coffin drop, but Matthew cuts him off. Darby counters a superplex with a scorpion death drop off the top rope, transitioning out of the suplex, which, by the way, got no reaction from the crowd. Darby then hits a coffin drop while Matthew is in the ropes, and Darby Allin Darby Allin pins Buddy Matthews, and Buddy Matthews loses clean on this show, which I did not agree with. And there you go. Darby Allin retains. This match was fine, but this crowd was terrible for this match. I'll give this match a 5.5. Logic of 4. That's the best I can give. Darby was about to cut a promo. Tony Schiavone then walked in the ring. Darby Allin was about to cut a promo. Samoa Joe shows up on the big screen. He wants a rematch for the TNT title. Samoa Joe says that he promises that Darby winning the TNT title will become the biggest mistake of his career, and Samoa Joe is the king of television, obviously, and he wants his TNT title back. And it is announced, by the way, for next week, which we will review, Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe in a no-holds-barred match for the TNT Championship. Take all my money. And that's that. Adam Cole recap again. Adam Cole is training, and Adam Cole is, getting himself used to everything. Remember, the guy had a torn goddamn shoulder, and he had a concussion issues from Forbidden Door. So Adam Cole is wrestling, trying to get back into wrestling again, and he actually looked up at the Revolution sign. So apparently Adam Cole may be at Revolution, but I would rather have Adam Cole before Revolution rather than, Adam Cole is 100%. Mentally in the ring he's not 100%, but he's physically 100%. So I don't know. Alright. This is the part where I begin a full-blown rant about this fucking match. Ethan Page and Matt Hardy versus Jungle Hook, which is the worst tag team name ever. Please stop calling them Jungle Hook. It's not working. It sucks. Come up with a new name because this sucks. Also, Ethan Page is finally on TV. When was the last time Ethan Page was on TV? Oh, wait, that's right. 3 weeks ago. Tony Khan, I got something to explain to you. Hear me out for 5 seconds. Do me a favor. Stop putting Ethan Page off TV. And while you're at it, get rid of the firm. Please. The firm sucks, and they will always suck as long as they're on TV. Ethan Page needs to get out of the firm, break away from the firm, and this man needs to become babyface expeditiously. If this man is not babyface by Double or Nothing, you are not doing your job as a booker. You're not doing your job. Ethan Page needs to be babyface. I'm sick and tired of this man being a prick. This guy is too good to be a prick and lose clean on this show, because he did lose clean on this show. Private Party needs to come back. Isaiah Cassidy is being booked like a bitch. And I'm not calling Isaiah Cassidy a bitch. I love Private Party. I love Isaiah Cassidy. The fact that he is being booked like a complete buffoon and he has to cater to Stokely Hathaway? This shit sucks. Hook comes out. He was voted Rookie of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Hook and Jungle Boy versus Matt Hardy and Ethan Page. This match was boring. I did not care about this match at all. I'm giving this match a wrestling. This match was fine. There were some parts of the match I was like, that was alright. But other than that, thumbs down. No rating. This sucked. Ethan Page lost clean, and he tapped out the Jungle Boy snare trap. That's all you need to know. This match sucked. No one cared. The Acclaim and Gun Club Family Therapy segment. This was the best thing on the show, except Bryan Danielson's promo. I'm going to admit here, the Gun Club actually came off good in this segment. And that's actually a very positive thing I'm going to say about the Guns. That's actually the only positive thing I'm going to say here. So Billy Gunn starts off. He says we need to refracture the situation. The Guns actually had good points about the Acclaim. And, they've been screwed over by the Acclaim. The Guns say they've always been put second and not first, while Billy Gunn was wrestling 320 days a year. I'm sure they're referring to Billy Gunn's run in 2004. Jesus fucking Christ. Don't get me started. And the Guns say that when the Acclaim was shot to shit with Bowens in a wheelchair, they helped them, and then they called them ass boys, and then they got hit with crutches. So the Guns have been disrespected constantly by the Acclaim, and the Guns are sick and tired of it, and you can tell they were not happy. I wouldn't be happy if y'all were on TV all the time. First of all, the Gun Club, I refuse to call, actually they're not the Gun Club, they're just the Guns now, as if Billy Gunn doesn't exist. So the Guns have been on TV more than the following people. I'm going to name all these people, and I'm sure all of you will be pissed off at these. Jon Moxley, Konosuke Takeshita, who was on this show, Orange Cassidy, Willow Nightingale. The Gun Club has had more TV time than all of those four combined in the last 2 weeks. Something is horribly wrong. This sucks. I do not care about this feud at all. I really do not care about this feud. Why am I reviewing this segment? This sucked. Max Caster says, I have no remorse for you guys. Max Caster, you're carrying the Acclaim to any sort of relevance. I don't even know why you guys have the tag team titles. I don't want the Guns to win the tag team titles under no shape or form. I'm not saying they shouldn't win it. I'm saying not right now. Are you kidding me? The Guns beat FTR, right? They haven't even beaten the Lucha Bros, the Young Bucks, the Firm. Well, wait, aren't the Guns a part of the Firm? Did they just break off from the Firm? Apparently they did. I saw nothing about it. I don't know. And I have no remorse for the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, who all need to get off my fucking television. The Acclaim has done nothing with the belts. Get them off the Acclaim by Double or Nothing. Please. I'm sick of the damn Acclaim right now. Really. They haven't done nothing with the belts except beat FTR. Name one thing they have done except beat FTR at Holiday Bash. Name one thing the Acclaim has done with those tag team titles. Name one. I dare you. Name one. I'll give you 5 seconds. If you guess nothing, you are correct. So anyway, the Guns want the World Tag Team titles. I do not care. I do not want them winning the belts. FTR may still be grieving because of Jay Briscoe. But here's what I would do. I would have FTR win the belts at Double or Nothing. That's what I would do. Call it a night. FTR can win the belts, win the AEW belts, and put over and have the Acclaim chase them. I would rather have the Acclaim chase FTR rather than FTR chase the fucking Acclaim. This segment was decent, but I don't care about this feud at all. Hangman on Page with Renee Paquette. Hangman says he tries to look forward, but he looks backward. He wants to beat Jon Moxley twice. And so we have a rubber match between these two men, which is announced for next week. Wheeler Yuta shows up out of nowhere. Wheeler Yuta is slowly becoming a get-off-my-TV candidate. It's not even funny. This man shows up out of nowhere. This man has fucking magic tricks out of his ass. This man is doing Matt Hardy magic and appearing out of nowhere backstage for no reason at all. This man's doing this shit. He shows up and he accepts his challenge from Moxley on his behalf. Why? Why did Wheeler Yuta accept Jon Moxley's challenge? You do realize you do realize Renee Paquette was standing right there. And Renee Paquette should have said to Hangman that Moxley wants to face you again. And he says, Renee should have said, Moxley wants to face you again. That's all she should have said. We did not need Wheeler Yuta to accept a match on Jon Moxley's behalf. Wheeler Yuta is slowly becoming get off my television. Seriously, get him out of here. So Wheeler Yuta challenges Hangman on Page to Rampage. By the way, may I forget to mention, Wheeler Yuta is the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Why is he facing Hangman on Page? Who cares? And we will not review Rampage until it's live and it's on Friday. It's not on Friday, pardon me. Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage as a part of the Embassy on Ring of Honor. Cage beat Willie Mack on Rampage, which I did not review, but I did see. The match was okay. The match went 7 minutes, by the way. Bryan Danielson and Brian Cage. Alright. Well, this was actually a very good match. I gotta say something here. Brian Cage has lost every match in AEW since the beginning of 2022. Actually, he wasn't even on TV to begin the year. He has lost almost every match except Ring of Honor. So, apparently Ring of Honor is making Brian Cage look way better than he should be. So, yeah. Alright, this match starts. Cage pushes him away. And then Cage poses like Buff Bagwell in WCW. Please stop doing that, Brian Cage. Please. I know it's heat. I know it's a heat spot. I get it. But Jesus Christ. You're posing like Buff Bagwell. No wonder why Buff Bagwell broke his goddamn neck. Flexing all the goddamn time. Get off my television. Danielson kicks Brian Cage in the quad. Cage his shoulder thrust in the corner and chops to Danielson. Danielson then whips his ass. But Cage uses his power. Danielson hits a crucifix for a 2 count. Danielson gets the label lock in early, but Brian Cage escapes. Danielson hits a drop kick. Tope Suicida. Then he hits a crossbody. And Danielson comes back with more kicks. Cage avoids Danielson's drop kick, but he hits a nice gorilla press slam into the turnbuckle by Brian Cage. Cage then hits an elbow and hits a Giri in the corner. Then a German, to which Danielson lands on his shoulder awkwardly. It was pretty much the Drew Gulak German suplex from the Elimination Chamber back in 2020. It was pretty much that, except the camera did not actually catch it this time. So Brian Cage has completed the bounty to the surprise of nobody. Cage then works on the arm, and he poses again. And I wrote in my notes, Brian Cage should be fined for every time he poses with his muscles. That's what I wrote in my notes. Brian Cage has an armbar, then in a hammerlock, and then he has a hammerlock bear hug on Danielson, which was actually a very nice spot. Danielson then comes back, he has more kicks. Danielson goes for his moonsault off the turnbuckle, but Cage catches him with a shoulder breaker. Cage hits his apron superplex, which is always a good spot. Another 2 count. Cage hits a corner super kick to Danielson, and then Danielson counters out of a powerbomb attempt. And then this spot I did not agree with. Bryan Danielson doing a superplex to Brian Cage with one arm. I did not agree with that spot. That made Bryan Danielson's arm... Bryan Danielson's left arm was being focused on the whole match. And all of a sudden he does a superplex? I don't get it. Danielson kicks Brian Cage and his typical roundhouse kick, which was another 2 count. Danielson then curb stomps Cage, but Cage escapes out of it. Then Danielson counters into an ankle lock, into a one-leg German. Cage gets back up. He goes for a discus lariat. Danielson hits a forearm. Cage hits a buckle bomb, which, by the way, did not look good. Then Cage hits a power bomb. Then another power bomb, but Danielson counters, and he stacks up Brian Cage. 1, 2, 3, and Bryan Danielson wins the match. And then Brian Cage beats up him afterwards. Of course he does. MJF comes out. Cage then takes Danielson's shoulder with a steel chair. He wraps it around his shoulder, and he puts it into the ring post, which was a brutal spot. MJF tries to Pillmanize Danielson's arm, but Konosuke Takeshita makes the save, runs off Brian Cage. And that was that. I need Takeshita versus Brian Cage on Dynamite. Please. If this match is not happening anywhere else, don't even put it on Rampage. This match is way too important. You know, Brian Cage is the money hungry machine, Brian Cage, and he helps out MJF against Bryan Danielson. So I would have Takeshita versus Brian Cage on Dynamite. Don't have it on Rampage, please. I thought this match was good though. Wrestling 7, Logic. I'll give it a 6. Renee tries to get an update on Danielson after the break. Dr. Sampson, the AEW doctor, says that Danielson shall not wrestle, but Danielson did cut a really good promo. He says that no one will ever stop him from wrestling again. He says, I will wrestle 60 goddamn minutes. That's exactly what he said, word for word, with a separated shoulder, or no shoulder at all, apparently. And he will beat MJF at Revolution, and Bryan Danielson is going to continue on with one arm. So, there you go. Ruby Soho versus Toni Storm, who turned heel for no reason last week. I still don't know why she's heel. But anyway, we get comments from both women before this match start. And Toni Storm called all the AEW women's roster homegrown idiots, I may add. So, we're pretending that Ruby Soho is not ex-WWE. Toni Storm hates all the homegrown women in AEW. Yeah. This is a stupid goddamn angle. Stephon Smith. Oh, Lord. This motherfucker. Stephon Smith. I got to do the honors for this guy. Stephon Smith was horrible all night in All Elite Wrestling. Man, Stephon Smith on AEW Dynamite. Stephon Smith is get off my fucking television. This man sucks. He cannot do his job. He is a fucking goon and a stupid fucking referee because he sucks at his goddamn job. He fucked up the finish at Final Battle. Last week, he didn't hear a fucking Singapore cane shot. You thought I forgot about that, didn't you? Nope, I didn't. Stephon Smith sucks at his job. Get him the hell out of this company. So anyway, these two women go back and forth. Toni Storm hits a hip attack on Ruby Soho. Get your mind out of the gutter. She works on the back of Soho on the outside. And then Stephon Smith with the slowest goddamn count of all time. This man was going 3, 4. Slow ass goddamn count. Count faster. Soho goes for a double stomp, but Storm moves out of the way. Soho then kicks her dead in the nose, to which Stephon Smith checked on her. I wrote in my notes, get out the goddamn way, Stephon Smith. You're not doing your goddamn job. She's faking it. If it was really broken, we would have all known it was broke. Storm, of course, faked it. She suckered her in. She hit a hip attack again. Get your mind out of the gutter. A DDT for a 2 count, and Britt Baker shows up. Oh, fuck. Why was Britt Baker out here? Tony Khan, why was Britt Baker out here for this distraction finish? Britt Baker shows up on the stage. she's obviously hurt, so she couldn't compete. Apparently, Britt Baker was walking relatively fine. So, injured, right? Anyway, she distracts Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho and his destination unknown for the 1-2-3. No one cared. This match is getting a 5 and Logic a 3. Y'all thought I was giving this a no rating. I wish this was a no rating, except this match did not go longer than, this match didn't go shorter than 3 minutes. So, that's why I'm not giving it a no rating. MJF cuts another solid promo. I'm not going to go over it. He says he wants an open contract. Bryan Danielson, he has an open contract for Bryan Danielson for next week. And MJF says, roll the clip. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where I marked the hell out. Timothy Thatcher is coming to AEW Dynamite. I've been waiting for this match for 6 years. That's how long I've been waiting for this match. Timothy Thatcher is too good to not be on AEW Dynamite. And therefore, he's on Dynamite, which we will review all next week. Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher next week. Take all my money. Also announced on Rampage, Jamie Hayter versus Emi Sakura, who I actually forgot. She's still goddamn employed. I don't care. That match is on Rampage. No one cared. The Acclaimed against Jobbers next week on Rampage. No one cares. Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin in a no-holds-barred match for the TNT title on Dynamite. So they run down the card for Dynamite and Rampage. Whatever. Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman join Excalibur in commentary for the main event. As I said earlier on, zero disrespect for Jay Lethal, who comes out. He's fighting back tears. It's been a rough week for everybody. I understand. I try my very best to entertain all of you. And at this moment in the main event, I was emotional. I was crying a little bit, but I enjoyed the main event. It was the best thing on the show, so I'll take it. Mark Briscoe comes out to a good reaction. Bobby Cruise, the Ring of Honor ring announcer, he introduces both men. By the way, can I make a suggestion here? Bobby Cruise needs to be AEW ring announcer, backup ring announcer. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Justin Roberts. I think Justin Roberts is good at his job. We need Bobby Cruise as a backup. Just in case if Justin Roberts decides to take a vacation. Because Dasha Corrette is not cutting it as a ring announcer. As a backup ring announcer. I'm sorry. She's not cutting it. I see her more as a backstage person. Interviewer. No disrespect to Dasha, but I just see you at that way. That's all. We have our main event. I'm going to briefly go over this main event. By the way, your referee for this match is Paul Turner, who will not get disrespected on the show. Normally we would, but this is a very sentimental moment, so we can't really disrespect it. Ian Riccaboni points out that the Briscoes and Jay Lethal have constantly fought in Ring of Honor over the TV title and the world title, where Jay Lethal and Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe had the world title. So there you go. Briscoe then hits a clothesline and a drop kick. Lethal comes back with a drop kick of his own. Mark hits elbow. Jay Lethal hits elbows. Mark Briscoe hits a forearm and a neckbreaker. 2 count. In the picture-in-picture, Briscoe and Lethal exchange words and forearms while they're on the apron. Lethal takes out Mark with a tope suicida. You can tell Jay Lethal is wrestling the toughest match of his career. You can feel something is off with Jay Lethal mentally. This is one of his toughest matches. So yeah. Lethal hits another snapmare drop kick into a 2 count, and then back to a chin lock. Briscoe fights out. He hits 2 chops and a palm strike. Briscoe hits a nice cross chop, then a Ricky Steamboat-like brain chop by Mark Briscoe, which was cool. Enziguri by Mark Briscoe, and then an iconoclasm for a 2 count. Briscoe then slaps Jay Lethal, and then Lethal comes back with lethal combination for a 2 count. Lethal then hits lethal injection. Remember, nobody kicks out of the lethal injection except 3 other people. Mark Briscoe rolls out to the outside. Lethal then slams Briscoe on the timekeeper's table. They head back in the ring for a little bit. Mark Briscoe has a dropkick again, and then Mark Briscoe then puts Lethal on the table on the outside. And then he hits an elbow drop through the table, which I'm sure there's some people out there that would say, hey, wouldn't this be a disqualification? First of all, we're doing this in honor of Jay Briscoe. Second of all, who the hell cares if Jay Briscoe is put through a table in this match. Who cares? No disrespect towards the spot, but in the grand scheme of things, this is not about what happened. This is not about the rules. This is about Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe, was meant a lot to a lot of people. So that's what I'm saying. I was being emotional around this moment. Mark hits the Jay Driller in honor of his flesh and blood. He wins the match. Mark says, "Jay, this is for you. I love you, and I'll miss you." Everyone comes out onto the stage, which was fantastic. I was crying a lot. Both competitors show sportsmanship, and it still does not feel real that Jay Briscoe is dead. It does not feel real, man. It really, really doesn't. It's like to me, Jay Briscoe reminded me of one of those regulars at a bar. It doesn't feel real. So anyway, Mark Briscoe holds up both the tag team titles for Ring of Honor, and that's the end of the show. Recap of all the finishes on AEW Dynamite. First match, not a clean pin. It was a dirty finish. Sammy won with the help of Darren Garcia. Second match, clean pin on Buddy Matthews by Darby Allin. Third was a submission tap out on Ethan Page by Jungle Boy. Fourth match, clean pin. Fourth match. Let me recap. What was the fourth match? Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage, which was a clean pin. Distraction finish by Britt on Tony Storm was the semi-main event. Britt Baker distracted Tony Storm. Another not clean finish, and main event was a clean pin, and rightfully so, which was a clean pin. yeah, shit, indeed. Alright, everybody, that's Dynamite. Solid show. Hopefully things get better for AEW and for Mark Briscoe, and rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. And also look out for next week for another Roundup, and also for the Royal Rumble review, which me and Cabo wish we would do. If you're wondering why I didn't talk about Raw, because me and Josh are doing Raw. We'll find out what happens to everyone after the Royal Rumble as we head towards the Elimination Chamber in Montreal, la Province de Quebec, which is happening next month. And I'll see you all next week. I'm Ben Charles for Cabo and Josh Jenkins. See y'all next week. So long.